the microprocessors were just coming into vogue at a point when I was at Langley working on some of the structural analysis. And a colleague and I, we always like to be into the latest technology. And so we'd follow it, and we saw these things are so cheap, and yet we're using these really expensive computers, and people were saying maybe these would have an application to our computations. So there was a project that was started up. It wasn't really a project to start with. It was just like getting a little bit money and getting some microprocessors, putting them together. At that time, we had 6 early microprocessors that we tied together to do some simple beam equations. We had to put the, Dave Lohendorf was the key person. He's gone to Lawrence Livermore Labs, but he was working on this with a few other people. And then he found out that he could actually solve this part of the problem here, this part here, and assign different microprocessors to solve different parts of the problem, which normally a large computer, you'd do, you know, maybe 10 things, one after the other. Well, here you could divide it up. Kind of, they called it then divide and conquer. So that was the first part. Then and I wasn't too much into that other than just kind of following and tracking, and Dave was my office mate, so we talk about a lot of things there. And then he decided to leave Langley for a number of positive reasons. And it turned out that they asked me, Olaf, can you take over this work? And so we expanded the work to build an actual parallel computer to do structural analysis on. And we called it the finite element machine because that was the basic analysis algorithm that structures uses. From the time of the early Nastran program, that was the finite element method, which seemed like it was the most general and could solve things most reliably and most accurately. So we created, basically built of microprocessors, a computer called the finite element machine that had 32 processors far before other parallel machines were even available. You couldn't go out and buy one. But then, after we proved ours, and then there was an Iliac machine at University of Illinois, then a whole field of new microprocessor-based machines developed. And then the Intel Corporation got into it big time and produced the hypercubes and so on. So that was kind of our foray into that, and the finite element machine then has led to our equation solver, which went even further. Now